Israel, Shalom, Shalom, Brother Marquas.
Brother Kazawan.
Alright, coming back with another quick video through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. I want to give, first and foremost, all praise to the Most High, double honors to the elders, all praise to the Most High for the men and women that labor as well in the Lord's vineyard, that do the work faithfully, and, that's in His truth, and in sincerity, bringing out the word. Now, this video through the spirit is going to be touching on, you will never be understood fully in this truth. A lot of people think when they come into this truth, they can just, let their family know, let their best friend know that they knew in the world for years. Or you can let your boss know and everyone will just accept you. When you come into this truth, you're going to come to find out that nobody really understands the labor, or nobody really understands the sacrifice, the time that you put in for the Lord, and how this truth becomes your new life. All right, I'm gonna kick it off with 1 Corinthians, the 6th chapter. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse number 9. Because again, when you come into this truth, you're made a spectacle into the world. All right, I was telling a brother, not too long ago, and I was talking to my grandmother, and we had a family trip planned out, and I ended up telling her, I'm not going, and she ended up getting on me. She said, "You always got your face in that Bible. All right, you never got a girlfriend. You never looking out. You never trying to find women. You always on that street yelling at people. You never got time for your family." Hey, guess what? What if the Lord say, have time for your family 24/7? So this truth, again, it's all about sacrifice, and it's all about you giving your life over to the Most High. So it's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4 and verse 9. For I think that God hath set forth For I think that God hath set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. So the Lord said we're made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. A spectacle meaning you're different. Are you something that just stands out? So you being in this truth, a so-called black Hebrew Israelite as this world would deem you, guess what? You're made a spectacle into this world. You're different. You're odd. You're weird. Or you're abnormal. And when it comes to this truth, you got to embrace that. Because, again, the world, again, they would never, like how the video's going into, they would never understand the things that you will go through in this truth. Reading on. Verse 10. For we are fools for Mashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Mashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. And guess what? In the eyes of this world, we're despised. We're weak. But in the eyes of the Most High, in the eyes of the brotherhood, we're strong, honorable, right? Able men and women, set forth in the Lord's vineyard to do the work. Reading on, verse 11. Even until this present hour. And this is, this is one of my favorite precepts, by the Apostle Paul. It says, even until this present hour, we both hunger and thirst and are naked and buffeted and have no certain dwelling place. So as Paul was writing to the church of Corinth, literally he was starving as he's writing this epistle. And as he's writing this epistle, he's letting the church know that how they look in the eyes of the world versus how they look in the eyes of the Most High. And again, he's exhorting them through the spirit that you're going to be a cast out and a castaway in this world, but in Yahushua, you're going to be loved. You're going to be noticed. And again, the people of the world, they don't see that. They don't see you in these labors and you stand up all night and you hopping on certain calls and, you, for the sisters, you stand up making fringes, laboring and doing A, B, and C. They don't see that. Why? Because in their eyes, you're a fool. You're weird. All right, you're a castaway. We didn't know. Let me finish this out. It says, and labor, working with your own hands. Being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it. Being defamed, we entreat. It says we are made as the filth of the world. And again, that's what this world, that's what they look at you as. All right, it says we're made as the filth of this world. You didn't say you were made the cleanness of this world, the brightness, the love, the glory. No, it said you're made as the filth of this world. You're at the bottom. right? In the eyes of the so-called white man, in the eyes of your grandmother, in your eyes of people that despise you, the eyes of your mother maybe. But guess what? In Yahweh Shah, you're exalted. Reading on. It says, we are made as the filth of the world and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. Right, I yield on that, you got it.
Right. And when we come out with these precepts and this breakdown, it's really exhortation for the Akim and the Aqua, right? That's going through it, man. Right? Because a lot of people, your family ain't gonna understand you. Hey, people in the truth ain't gonna. Certain people in the truth ain't gonna understand you. For brothers, they might have a woman that they might be courting, they might be married. Hey, a woman might not understand this work. She don't make the same sacrifices as you, right? Hey, women, right? Hey, your husband might not understand the sacrifices that you making, right? They not gonna understand you. So it's really exhortation to continue to keep you pushing, because at times you're gonna feel low, at times you're gonna weep, at times you're gonna be down through the spirit, right? You gotta remember these precepts to push you through, right? I want to go to the book of Psalms real quick, chapter 119 and verse number 50. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 49. It says, remember the word unto thy servant upon which thou hast caused me to hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened me. Right, so the word is going to be your only comfort. Right, you might be looking for comfort out of somebody else. You might not get it. Right, yeah, you can. For some people, they'll give you that comfort. They'll make you feel good. They'll exhortate you. Hey, but the true comfort is going to come from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right, in the scriptures. When you trust on the Lord, right, He gonna comfort you and make you, you gonna feel that spirit revolving around you. Right, you go to the book of Luke, chapter 24 and verse 32 real quick, right, while I still hold this, right? Hey, because, the disciples, they said the same thing. They said their hearts burn within them, right, when the Lord brought out the scriptures with them, man. That's how your spirit is gonna feel, right? Because, you might feel like, you might have, somebody around that might understand, but they might not truly understand why you gotta cut off all your people from the world. Why you gotta go out every single weekend and labor. Why you gotta, do the work 24/7. They not gonna understand that. Right? But only Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai gonna understand that, man. Because he see the labor that you put in, he ain't gonna forget that, man. So that's what you gotta quicken your mind with. All right, bring that over quick for me.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 24 and verse 32. And they said one to another, did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way,
right,
and while he opened to us the scriptures?
Right, so the disciples, they said their hearts was burning within them, man. That's their spirit, man. Their spirit was being comforted. It was being set on fire by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai when he was opening the scriptures to them. He was teaching them. He was giving them the spirit. Right, that's the comfort in your affliction, man. Life gonna get hard. Time's gonna get hard. You're gonna feel real low. You're gonna feel alone. You're gonna feel depressed. Right? You're gonna be stressed out financially, physically, emotionally, right? You're gonna be afflicted. Right? But if you continue to labor for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Right, all that's gonna be looked upon and you're gonna get a blessing, man. But you just gotta remember that. You can't just constantly rely on people to just give you that comfort. Right? To understand why you can't, you can't go out and kick it on a Saturday. You can't go out on a Friday night and then go to a club. Or why you can't just, do your own pleasures and not serve the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai every single day of your life. All right, I want to grab one more precept, right? And then I'm going to let you, go on. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 3 and verse number 13. All right, I'm going to start at verse number 12. It says, take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief, departing from the living God. Right? Because you got a lot of people departing from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in these last days, man. And it's sad. Right? You got brothers leaving camps. You got sisters leaving camps. Right? You got sisters and brothers taking off fringes, picking back up the blunt, man. Picking back up them tight sundresses. Brothers picking back up they sagging down skin tight jeans. Right?
Right.
And they going back into the world. They falling away. Right? Through unbelief. Right? Verse 13. It says, but exhort one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Right? So if you got a brother, if you got a sister, right? If you got their line, you need to be trying your best to exhort them every single day, if you can. Right? If not every day, people got lives, right? Try, your best to exhort them whenever you get the chance. Right? Because that person can be on their way out of this thing. Their spirit can be torn. Right? They might feel alone, don't got nobody, right? and the Lord put it on your spirit to, check up on them. You might revive somebody's spirit, and the Lord might, bring some good your way for that, right? But I yield with that.
Con, that's right. That's right. I'm gonna kick it off with I'm gonna pick up at Jeremiah the 15th chapter. So when you read the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah is known as the sovereign prophet, right? The crown prophet. Now Jeremiah, you don't think Jeremiah loved his people? You don't think Jeremiah put in so much work to where he wanted his people to understand the things that he was going through? How his own mother wanted to understand the things that he was going through? Hey, Jeremiah, again, he lived a very hard, laborious life. So again, you being a servant, you being in the Lord's vineyard, people, they're not gonna understand again 100% the things that you go through, and you gotta accept that. Are you being in this truth? One of the things that you gotta accept is that people, they're not gonna understand how much you really love the Lord, and how much you really want to serve the Lord, how much you give your life over unto the Most High. All right, again, you may have people of the world. All right, your certain family members. Certain family members, they ask you to go on vacation trips, or they may ask you to go out with them, and guess what? All that got to get. Not saying you can't go out your family, but nothing comes before the work of the Lord. All right, that's like a brother. He kind of close up camp early, leave camp early, to go on his date with his woman. Next thing you know, he don't go on a date with his woman, and she mad at him. Well, guess what? She doesn't understand how great this work really is then. All right, vice versa. If the sister, she stand up all night, she taking care of the kids, she making fringes, and the brother come in and he just demanding all type of, things, and it's the wrong, it's just out of season, right? Demanding things out of season while this woman is laboring for the work of the Lord. Guess what? That man, he don't understand how great this work really is. So this book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, and Jeremiah 15. And I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, she that hath borne 7 languisheth. It says, she hath given up the ghost. Her son is gone down while it is yet day. She hath been ashamed and confounded. And the residue of them will I deliver to the sword before their enemies, saith the Lord. So Jeremiah was out there prophesying the downfall of his people. Rebuking them, which is a form of brotherly love. We read Leviticus 19 and verse 17 on down. So Jeremiah showed a high form of love for his people through correction, through the Spirit of the Most High. All right, verse 10. It says, woe is me, my mother, that thou hast borne me a man of strife and a man of contention to the whole world. So guess what? You would think your mother, the one that, gave birth to you, all right, the one that swaddled you and that comforted you, and, she was there for you since you were the youth up. You would think that that would be the same woman that comforts you and be there while you, serve the Most High, while you come into this truth. Guess what? That wasn't the case with Jeremiah. And I'm pretty sure with a lot of brothers and sisters, that's not the case. Right? It says, woe is me, my mother, that thou hast borne me a man of contention. It's like a man of strife and a man of contention to the whole world. So Jeremiah's own mother got on Jeremiah and said, you're nothing but a man that wants to argue. You're nothing but a man that wants to stir up strife against the whole world. Are you nothing but a man that just want to build up contention? And that's how this world look at us, man. Oh, y'all just black people. Y'all just niggers that just want to yell all day. Are you too loud? You got a microphone. Your voice decimals is above the damn the decimeter. Just saying anything. Guess what? Jeremiah's own mother, she was going against him. Again, the same one that swaddled you up, breastfed you, comforted you, that's going to be the same person when you come to the Most High that's going to turn away from you. Right. All right, reading on. It says, I have neither lent usury, nor men have lent usury. It's like you, nor have lent to me on usury. Yet every one of them doth curse me. So Jeremiah said everyone is cursing him. So you got to imagine the state Jeremiah was in. And Jeremiah was by himself. All right, there's no camp Jeremiah was in. Got the camp of Jeremiah. All right, the sons of Jeremiah. Jeremiah was never in a camp. He was out there dolo. And he had that much more love and zeal for his people to still do the work as they didn't understand how great this work really was, and how his whole purpose and his mindset and his spirit was to just save his people through the spirit. Read it on verse number 11. It says, "The Lord saith, verily, it shall be well with the remnant. Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction." All right, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 20 and verse number 10. All right, Jeremiah chapter 20 and verse number 10. It says, "For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report say they, and we were reported." That's the point. It says, "All my familiars watched for my halting, saying, peradventure he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him." So when you read Jeremiah the 20th chapter, you see how much anguish Jeremiah was in for doing the work. To where, he told the Most High, "I'm not dealing with it, not doing this work." The Most High, he cranked up, turned up his spirit to where he couldn't stay, start shaking hand and prophesying again. So when you get to verse 10, it says, I'm going to read that latter part. It says, "All my familiars watched for my halting, saying, peradventure he will be enticed, and we will prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him." So guess what? Jeremiah's own kinsmen, they were meditating on how to backdoor Jeremiah. Like they said, surely we're going to entice him. We're going to wait for his fall. We're going to get our revenge on this man. And again, the whole spirit of Jeremiah was just to love his people. Do the work of the Lord. All right, save souls. Tell them, don't go back into Egypt. All right, tell them how the Lord's going to send the king of Babylon to judge, Zedekiah and the rest of the wicked Jews and the rest of the so-called southern kingdom. And that was his whole purpose, to just give warning to his people. But what happened? Their mindset was to hell with Jeremiah, to hell with he's saying, I'm going to do my own thing. And when we go out on these highways and byways, it's the same mindset. All right, last week we had that rebuke, that so-called concert rebuke, right, the Shot City Festival. And you had all type of wickedness and, namely Southern Kingdom there. And that's the same spirit that that we read about in the precepts, how they don't give a damn about the Lord. Aren't you out there, you trying to save their soul, and all they do is just turn their back on you. And not even just people in the world, but, like the brother brought out, it may be your rib, someone you courting, or someone you may be, already married to, that don't really understand in depthly how much this truth really means to you and to the Most High. And that in itself, that can be a hindering spirit in itself. Here it is, you standing up, you're doing videos, you're doing breakdown calls. All right, you fasting, you praying, and your woman, she just getting on you because you ain't watch a movie night with her. All right, she knows she got a spirit on her because you didn't want to take her out on the date for the 5th time this week because you got to do the work of the Lord. And guess what? Those is what you call evil spirits that try to overcome the work in this ministry. But you, brother and sister, being spiritual, you got to have that mindset to always know that this truth comes before anything, man and woman. All right, let me get one more precept and I'm going to pass it. All right, let's go to the book of Matthew. Let me find this quick precept. I think that's Matthew, the 12th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Matthew chapter 12 and verse 47. It says, "Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee." So you had Yahweh Shah, you had Mary. She's desiring to speak to her son. That's her son. All right, what woman, one desire, if they haven't seen their son in a long time, one desire to, love their son, comfort them. So Mary, Yahweh Shah, he was always out and about, so-called doing the work. All right, he was never at home. He was a pilgrim. So she seen her son. It says she was desirous to see him. Reading on, verse 48. "But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren?" And that's bold, man. All right, you haven't seen your mother in months. She finally see you. Somebody tell you, hey, man, your mother coming up. She looking for you. Hey, how Shah told this man, hey, who is my mother and who are my brethren, man? Reading on. It says, and he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same as my brother and sister and mother. So he said, whoever do this work, that's my real family. That's who come first. All right, besides the Most High and his Son. Anything outside of that is vain. And that's the spirit of Yahweh Shah. So how much more of a spirit should we have to understand that this world is always going to be against you? Whether that's on a minute level or a max level. In some way, shape, or form, this world will always be against you. And that's something that you got to accept through the spirit. Right, but you got it.
I'm going to touch back on the point where you up in Matthew, but I'm going to go to Luke chapter 12. Right, because, you know, it's just it's a worldly thought. You got people that still think like they in the world when they in the truth, man. They think they're still supposed to have fun. They don't understand that sacrifice they're supposed to make, and they don't understand you. Right, and that's when the Lord started to cause divisions. It started to become, you know, real contentious, you know, between you, friends, family, your woman, your husband, right? Because you trying to make that sacrifice. A lot of people don't understand sacrifice. Right? A lot of people think sacrifice is just, you know, doing whatever. Damn, giving you $20 for just giving you damn $5 for some damn chips. I think that's the only sacrifice that you gotta make. Right? Sacrifice is doing this work every day and putting above the putting the Most High's will above what you want to do. Putting your people first before you put yourself first. Right? That's why he said we the apostles last when we read I'm roughly paraphrasing when we read 1 Corinthians the 4th chapter. Right, because instead of doing the things they want to do, right, they went to do the work. They up at late night studying, they praying, they fasting for people, they exhortating the people, they teaching the people, they fighting off demons for the people, to be a mighty example for the people, right? They doing all this for everybody else, right? But I want to grab this real quick in Luke chapter 12, and we're gonna start at verse number 51. It says, "Suppose ye that I'm come to give peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division." Right, so it's gonna be a lot of dividing in the last days, man. It's gonna be a lot of dividing from the real and the fake, man. From the real that's in the truth and the fake. Right, the people that's pretending they're doing this work and the people that's actually doing this work. That go for brothers and sisters. If you're not truly doing the work of the Lord, it's gonna be a big division, and the Lord gonna show which side you on. So you gotta pick a side. If your spirit ain't getting vexed by this world, right, something wrong with you. You're not making enough sacrifices if your spirit is not getting vexed by the Pride Month, damn drunkards and wickedness and whores, right? If your spirit isn't getting vexed by this, you gotta examine yourself, man. You might need to make a bigger sacrifice for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, it says, "For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." You know why this division is coming? Because they don't understand they don't understand your purpose. They don't understand what you out here trying to do. Right? They just too, you know, caught up in their own little world that they destroying themselves. And they divide themselves from you. And that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing, to be divided from this world. Because you're not going to get corrupted. You're supposed to be a new man. People are supposed to look at you and be like, damn, who is that? Right? It's going to get so damn, so damn good that you increase and growing and becoming that new man or woman in your whole Bashem Yahushai. Hey, your old friends, they're going to start sending, old memories of you, old videos and pictures. Oh, we missed this. We miss you, man. When you going to come back? Right? But you can't come back, man. You got to continue to make that sacrifice. Right? You can't be selfish out here. Right? Making your body a sacrifice, a living sacrifice, isn't just dying for the Lord. It's what you do on a day-to-day basis for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So when you read Romans 12, right? I want to grab that real quick. Right? Romans chapter 12 and verse number 1. Right? Because people think they just attribute that to, dying for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Yeah, that's making your body a living sacrifice. But it's what you're doing before that. You're not going to you can't die for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai if you wasn't making sacrifices for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai before that. If you wasn't going hard, and separating yourself from this world, you're not going to become a martyr. Because what did you do to deserve that? Right? That's a mighty lot. You think Stephen was just, you know, playing around in this world and then somehow he just became a martyr for Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Right? Now you got men like Demas when you read, I believe it's what is that, Second Timothy 4 or First Timothy 4:10, right? Hey, he went back to the world because he couldn't continue to make those sacrifices. He probably had friends around him, right? People on his mind. They didn't understand. They was kind of, you know, getting them back into this world, right? And I got a precept in Lamentations just to touch back on Jeremiah as well after this. All right, it says Romans chapter 12 and verse number 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. So it's your reasonable service. Right? This is the least you could do for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? You should be happy to make your body a living sacrifice every single day. To put your fringes on, to not eat the pork anymore, to not, you know, indulge into any kind of wickedness, right? Whatever it is, right? You should be happy to do that and make that sacrifice for your people, right? Because that's getting them the king. That's bringing the kingdom closer and closer day by day, right? It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God, right? So that's what you got to do, man. You can't be conformed unto this world, man. Jeremiah wasn't conformed unto this world like the Israelites. The Israelites was trying to go into Egypt because they wanted to freak off with the Egyptians. While he's prophesying and telling them, no, if you do this, hey, the Babylonians going to come and kill y'all, man. Right? They're going to come and destroy y'all if y'all do that. Right? Because they didn't understand. They didn't understand like Jeremiah did. And that's what happened. They got destroyed. And that's the same thing you telling people now. Flee out of spiritual Egypt, out of America, or you're gonna get destroyed. Yeah, your people still just not listening. They still, you know, going in, damn, freaking off on Pride Month and whatever it is they want to do. Damn, all kinds of fornication, all kinds of evils, weed smoke, crack smoke, right? Because they don't understand, right? Right. I'm gonna read that again. It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh have dealt to every man the measure of faith. Right? Because everybody that's in this truth, you got a purpose, man, in this truth. You just got to be willing to make that sacrifice, and the Lord gonna start to show you gifts. He gonna start to increase your gifts so that you can bring more to the nation of Israel, right? But you can't, you know, get like certain men and women that start to think highly of themselves when they in this truth, right? But let me grab this real quick in Lamentations chapter 2, and we're gonna start at verse number 9. It says, her gates are sunk into the ground. He had destroyed and broken her bars. Talking about our people, right? The leadership, right? It got completely broken down and destroyed, right? Hey, our leadership is broken down and destroyed right now, man. People don't look at brothers in the truth, right? And look at us as leaders when you deal with the mass majority of our people. Like the brother brought out in 1 Corinthians 4, we expect to go into these people. They looking at us like, what the hell? What the hell is you talking about? Right? It says, her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord. Right? So the Lord not dealing with our people right now. It's the same thing when Jeremiah was on the earth, man. Right? He's out here breaking it down and constantly showing the people. Right? He's probably out there saying, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Right? You over here dealing with the scriptures all day. You boring, man. Come have fun with the Egyptians. Hey, that's how you people look at you. They be like, hey, you boring. Right? Hey, I had to tell some people, hey, I do the same thing every week, man. I do the same thing every week. Brothers do the same thing every week. It's nothing new. Brothers got schedules. They go to work. They do the work 24/7. Right? They can't partake in stuff in this world. It just won't work out because they so focused on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and pleasing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and helping their people get out of this captivity. Right? It says, the elders of the daughter of Zion sit upon the ground and keep silence. They have cast up dust upon their heads They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem hang down their heads to the ground. Mine eyes do fail with tears. My bowels are troubled. My liver is poured upon the earth for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the sucklings swoon in the streets of the city. So Jeremiah, he was mourning for his people, man. He was crying, man. Right? While everybody was looking at him like, man, what the hell is wrong with this man? Why is he always prophesying this evil stuff unto us? Why is he always prophesying bad? Why is he always speaking, thus saith the Lord? Why is he always in the law? Why is he always saying he's getting visions? That's how your people look at you now. Why are you always in that Bible? Why you always got your fringes on? Why don't you ever come kick it anymore on Saturdays? Right? Because you too focused. Your mind has to be stayed on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It's beautiful when people say, damn, you boring. You don't do nothing no more. That means you doing work, man. You putting in work. And that should make you want to go 10 times harder, man. Right? I want to go to the book of Isaiah real quick, and I'm gonna let you have it. All right, Isaiah 26. We were just, talking about that. All right? This Isaiah 26, and we're going to start at verse number 3. It says, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Right? And for all the brothers and sisters out there, on this live, right, including ourselves, right, if you're feeling, low in the spirit, right, if you ever, struggling, feeling alone, right, always getting afflicted, right, hey, the Most High, you got to remember, he going to keep you in perfect peace if you trust in him, man. If your mind is stayed upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and doing his work, and nothing's going to trouble you. Are you going to always be able to prevail over these spirits, over these demons, man? You got power, right, like the book of Micah chapter 3 and 8 said. Like Luke, I believe, the book of Luke chapter 10, right, or Luke 17, right? You got power over these spirits, man. But it only comes when you trust in the Lord. It only comes when you're willing to put in a sacrifice. All right? But I yield with that.
Nah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you don't think your forefathers made sacrifices? All right? I mean, read Romans 15 and verse 4, Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 1. All right, John 4 and verse number 38. These different things our forefathers, they already did. We're just entering into their labors and, remembering their accounts of old. Why? Because it's the same thing. It's the same things that we're going through now. The same way how David was despised. Hey, you read, David was perfect. All right, David was blameless. He was a perfect man. Yet, he still has been despised, right? Countless and countless of times through the precepts, all right, through men, through his own family, through his army, through, Joab, etc., and rebellion. And then guess what? David, he put in a lot of work for his people. All right, David, he labored for his people. Going back to the point, again, you would never be, in the eyes of this world, you're always going to be counted as nothing. No one will fully understand you, as you're in this truth. So I want to go to 2 Samuel chapter 6. All right, and verse number, I'm going to start at verse 12. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 1, and I'm going to jump down. So this is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6, and verse number 1. Again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baali of Judah to bring up thence the ark of God, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, that dwelleth between the cherubims. And they set the ark of God upon the new cart, and brought out the house of Abinadab that was in Gibeah, right? And Uzzah and Ahio and the sons of Abinadab drave the new cart. So jumping down to verse, I'm going to read verse 5, and then I'm going to jump down. All right, verse 5. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord, right, on all manner of instruments, made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. So as David is bringing in the ark, back to Israel, this is a big deal going on. Now, when the ark is within Israel, that means the Lord, the Lord is within, the spirit of the nation. Spiritually, what an altar, but back then you had a physical altar. So the whole nation was turning up as David, a righteous man, All right, a laborious man putting in work for his people. All right, thinking about his people, putting his people and his God first before him. You know, as he's doing his deed, everyone there turning up in righteousness. All right, you would think his own family would turn up with him. All right, his brethren would turn up with him. Just like how everyone else is turning up with him. So jumping down to verse number 12. It says, and it was said, and it was told to King David, saying, I'm going to jump to verse, man, so thankful. I don't want to read too much. Right? I'm going to read verse 12. It says, and it was so, Slacky, and it was told King David, saying, the Lord have blessed the house of Obed-Edom, and all that pertaineth unto him, because of the ark of God. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David with gladness. Right, he brought it to Jerusalem. And it was so that when they had bare the ark of the Lord, it's like when they had bare the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed oxen and fatlings. It says, and David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded with linen ephod. So again, this is a big deal going on. David, he dancing with all his people. He turning up. He in the midst. He got on his nice garments, and they playing the music like how we read in verse 5, and everyone turning up. All right, it says, so David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet. So I'm going to jump down to verse, and that's the context. All right, I'm going to jump down to verse 20. So again, it's a big deal going on. Everyone's in the spirit of love, joy, mirth, happiness, through the spirit of the Most High, and how the works of David was brought forth. All right, verse number 20. It says, and David returned to bless his household. And that's a laborious man right there. Not only did you did the work by grabbing the ark, all right, and you danced with the people, you showed your people your love, which is real humble, right? Humility, because he's the king. And the king is in the midst, dance with everybody else. Not only did he show love to his people, but in his mindset, his spirit was, okay, let me bless my house. Let me praise to the Most High and thank the Most High and bless my own household. So it says, reading it again, 2 Samuel 6:20, then David returned to bless his household. And Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of his handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovereth himself. So, as David was turning up, his women, she started putting forth these sarcastic comments. She seen David dancing with the handmaids and dancing with the women. And as David's mindset was to go and bless his people, bless his own household, on his woman's mind was, why are you dancing with other women? All right, that's off. All right, here it is. This man, he labored, he doing the work of the Most High, and he come home to, a loudmouth, rebellious woman. So I'm going to read that last part again. It says, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of his handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovered themselves. So, she tried to have a little slick mouth, with King David. Verse 21. And David said unto Michal, it is before the Lord, which have chose me before thy father, and before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore I will play before the Lord. Hey, David said, it is what it is. I'm going to play and I'm going to turn them before the Most High anyway. And that even goes to show that no matter how on fire you are, on fire you are, no matter how much you love the Most High, no matter how long you've been in this truth, you'll always have someone that won't understand. And that someone is going to be a lot of people. Again, a lot of people just won't understand the sacrifices that you put in. All right, here it is. You pour the damn 24 hours because you had to, you may have to study with a brother and you have to go over precepts. All right, you was in a call and now you got to get up and go to work. And your friends from the world, they calling you. Hey, man, how about you link up with me, A, B, and C? Here it is. You just put a 24 hour. You don't feel like doing that. That's vain. That's folly. What they want to do. But yet, guess what? They're not going to understand the work that you put in for the Most High. And they never will. And again, you got to get used to men not realizing how much work, you really put in. You got to be okay with that. Because no one's going to really understand. That's the job of a man. That's the job of a servant. Or the servant, he's not, expected to get praise all the time. He's a servant. He does what he's supposed to do, and he go about his day. Us being servants of the Lord, guess what we do? What we're supposed to do. We serve the Most High, and we take it cheerfully, right? And we go about our day through the Spirit. So let's go to 2nd Esdras, the 5th chapter. All right, 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, and verse number 15. It says, "So the angel that was come to talk to me held me, comforted me, and set me upon my feet. And in the second night it came to pass that Salathaniel, the captain of the people, came unto me, saying, Where hast thou been? And why is thy countenance so heavy?" So you had this man, the captain of the people. He came to Ezra. He asked him, okay, where you been? The people, our hearts depend on you. Where you been at? Through the Spirit. Verse 17. It says, "Knowest thou not that Israel is committed unto thee and the land of their captivity?" So guess what he said? Israel is committed unto thee and the land of their captivity. On a spiritual level, Israel is committed unto the servants of the Most High and the land of our captivity. All right, they look at the servants' videos, breakdowns, counsel, questions. All right, anything that anything that goes forth to the ministry, flyers, garments, all right, fringes. Hey, sisters, they play a big role in this truth too. All right, during feast days, brothers, they look towards sisters for fringes, garments, crowns, mitres, armbands, warlike apparel. So, I'm going to read that last part again. Verse 17, it says, "Knowest thou not that Israel is committed unto thee and the land of their captivity?" Verse 18. Now, I want to touch on verse 17 again. Now, you think just because you're in this truth, you got a lot on your plate, you think people going to care about that? No. Again, you being a servant of the Most High, you're a servant unto your people. And again, a servant is required to serve the people. This man came up to Ezra and said, hey, the whole nation is looking for you. Our hearts depend on you. All right, where have you been at? Come do the work. Not knowing that he was out fasting for his people. We didn't know in verse 18. It says, "Up then, and eat bread, and forsake us not, as the shepherd that leaveth his flock in the hands of cruel wolves." So these men were pleading and begging for Ezra to come back within the camp so he can furthermore lead the people in righteousness. All right, and again, as you being a servant, that's what you got to do. All right, that's something that you're expected to do. You don't get points for fasting for a brother carnally. All right, that's not something you boast over. You don't get points for going out the camp. You don't get points for making garments. No, you being in this truth, you're required to do that as a servant. All right, let's go to the book. I have something else I want to touch on. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Now, when you read 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, Paul, he had to get on the church of Corinth because you have men crept in unaware that, tried to bring in false doctrine. Now, when you read 2 Corinthians, also the 11th chapter, Paul, he had to boast on the church for how much work that he really put in. Because this church, they wasn't really recognizing the work that Paul put in. The same way how your family members, they don't really recognize the work that you put in behind closed doors. All right, you put in work for the Lord. Are you put in work for your family? You got to go to the workplace physically. You got to take care of, other business. You feel like you're up 24/7. You're getting 4 hours of sleep on a daily. Hey, guess what? They don't understand the work. Again, they don't understand the work that you really put in. And you got to embrace that and understand that this world, again, will never understand that. Because, again, the world, they never understood the things that Christ did. And Christ told the man in Matthew, the 19th chapter, hey, leave all that you have and follow me. You think that man, wanted to follow Christ and give all his abundance to the poor? No. That's why he turned back sorrowing. Because he didn't understand the sacrifice that came with following Yahushua. And again, because we understand it, that you understand it, the Akim or Agwathium on the live stream, you got to embrace that that the Lord chose you to understand, those different things. Now, this 2 Corinthians chapter 11, and I'm gonna start at verse number. I'm starting at verse 1. I'm gonna jump down. All right, 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 1. It says, "What to God, ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ." So Paul said to the church of Corinth, I'm going to build you up as a beautiful chaste virgin for Christ. And I'm going to get you as ready as possible to have your mind set for the kingdom. And so that was Paul's whole mindset, to build up the church. And that's a laborer's work, building up the church. Jumping down to verse 13. It says, "For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach." So as he's building up the church, his mind and his spirit and his will and his love is towards the church. Yet you had men within the church that were false apostles that wanted to discredit Paul and all of his works. That's evil. All right, and that's really a wicked mindset. You had this man, he's putting his life on the line for the ministry, just for you to creep in and tear it all down. All right, that's why we keep reading on in this chapter. All right, I'm gonna jump down to verse 20. Man, I'm gonna jump down to verse 19. It says, "For ye suffer fools gladly, seeing ye yourselves are wise. For ye suffer, if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take of you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face." Verse 21, "I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit, wheresoever any is bold, I speak foolishly, I am bold also." So Paul had to check the church of Corinth. Why? Because, you had certain men that was crept in that wanted to tear down all of Paul's works. Hey, again, your family member, people of the world, they want to tear down all your works that you do. All right, they want to take away you being a servant. They want to take away you being a prophet. They want to take away you being God's chosen vessel to do the work. And they want to exalt themselves and do whatever they can to make you understand how this world really is over this truth. Again, you got people at the workplace, they inviting you to happy hour. Aren't they getting mad that you never come outside? Like the brother said, they always mad that you in the house, you're doing your own thing, you got a set schedule, you follow it strictly. And these people of the world, they get mad about that. Not even in the world, but, in the truth as well. But through the spirit, you always want to have that mindset to where, hey, this work come first. All right, if it's not the work, then, not saying you're not dealing with it, but, any folly or any vanity, hey, that's on the back burner. All right, you're in this thing to serve the Most High. That's Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 through the Spirit. All right, but you got it.
Right. I want to get this quick precept, and we're going to go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and verse number 1. It says, "But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery." Right? So in the sight of the unwise, hey, you look like a dead man.
Right.
You a dead man to these people. You a boring man. You a man with no life. You're just weird and just abnormal. Right? To the world. Right? They look at you, if you out there teaching on the highways and byways, they're like, what the hell is they just always out here every Friday and Saturday. What is going on with these men? They ain't getting no money. Right? We just had an issue with that today with Jake at camp. He talking about, he door dashing, walking. He talking about, I'm getting money. What y'all doing? It's better than what y'all doing. Hey, so he thinking we unwise, but he's destroying himself on the Holy Shabbat.
Right.
That's evil, man. But that's how the people gonna look at you. People in the truth that ain't going hard, they just throw on some fringes, throw on a dress, and they just think they in this thing. They just think you foolish. They think you don't have a life. They think everything you doing is pointless for real, because they think that you don't have to go out and do the work that you're doing. It's required of you. Yahweh Shai did the work like that, man.
All right.
Yahweh Shai made sacrifices. Even his people didn't understand. Peter didn't understand. His mother and his father didn't understand. The disciples didn't understand at the time why he was doing what he was doing. People didn't understand Yahweh Shai. Hey, how you think that made him feel, man? He's literally about to die. Be put on the cross.
Right.
His friends left him, man. Right? Because they didn't understand what was going on, man. Right? But let's keep reading. We're going to get that account too. It says, it's verse 3. It says, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. But you truly in peace when you with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He giving you that comfort that you need at all times. When nobody else understands you, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he understands. The brothers that's out here doing the work like you, they understand. The sisters that truly understand this work, and they making sacrifices, and they, leaving all their ungodly lust and pleasures, right? They gonna understand you. You gonna be at peace. Because you're going to be around people that's serving the Most High's will. Right? It says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. Right? Because they look like a punishment, right? Hey, even on a deeper level, right? When all hell breaking loose, right? Hey, you're going to be getting punished in the sight of men, getting imprisoned, getting chastised, scourged, getting bones broken and tortured. Hey, you're going to still be at, it says yet your hope is still full of immortality. I mean, you're going to be still meditating on the kingdom of heaven, man. No matter what. And you're going to have a great end, right? It says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. So through all that, because sacrifices, it's not an easy thing, man. That's like chastisement, right? That's like chastisement. Because you cutting off things you want to do for a better purpose, man. You understand the purpose on why you doing these things, man. So you being chastised for a little, hey, the Most High is finding you worthy. The more and more you do it. And he's going to continue to reward you. And he's going to reward you on this earth. You're going to gain more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, more discernment. You're going to gain more gifts and talents. Right? And then, Lord willing, you get the kingdom, man. You get to be over 10 cities. 15 cities. Have whatever the hell you want. Right? Right? It says, and in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. Right? Going into the elect. Right? The elect, those men, they gonna shine, man. Like when you read Daniel, the 12th chapter. Right? They gonna shine like stars, man. And you don't want to be a wandering star like you read about in Jude, the 1st chapter, and the 13th verse. Are you grab that for me real quick? Right, order. Right? You don't want to be a wandering star. Those wandering stars are men and women that fell out the truth. Now they all by themselves, just doing whatever it is, man. Doing all freakiness, man. All right, bring it up.
It's the book of Jude, chapter 1, and verse number.
Start at verse 12.
And verse 12.
So I can start at verse 11.
Verse 11. It says, woe unto them, for they have gone away. For they have gone in the way of Cain,
right,
and ran greedily after the era of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah.
Right, so there's a lot of people, they going in the way of Cain. They going in the way, they chasing after all these false idols and these false gods. Chasing this world, man. Chasing their lusts. Right? And the Lord said, woe unto them, right? Keep reading.
It says, these are spots in your feast,
right,
of charity, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds there without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit were without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots.
I mean they ain't got nothing, right? They're just completely empty, right? They clouds without rain, right? They damn trees without roots, right? They fruit withering up, tree getting cut down, right? Because they not growing, they not increasing, they don't got nothing. And they spirit all dried up, right? Keep reading.
It says these are, carried away about with winds.
Verse 13.
Yeah, it's like in verse 13. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever.
The blackness of darkness forever is this world, man. The wickedness, man. Right? Those wandering stars, man. You go out of the way, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Instead of being with all the light and all the different stars, and the morning star, which is Yahweh Shai, right? And now you just all by yourself back in this world with complete darkness with men and women that they have no light to them. Right? You can keep reading that. I think it's more on that.
Verse. Talk about Enoch.
Oh no, you can drop that. Right. But let me grab this real quick in Wisdom of Solomon 3. And we're gonna start at verse number I think I want to go to verse 19, right? Because the end of all these men and women that don't want to endure in the truth, right? It's gonna be a horrible end, man. And that's what the scriptures say. You got the famine on the rise, right? You got World War III on the rise. People see what Putin is out here saying. He just said America, the U.S. is the enemy now. It's not a game out here no more, right? So if people still don't understand why you making these sacrifices, hey, you just gotta walk away sometimes, man. You just gotta keep doing what you doing. You can't save everybody, man. It's only up to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai on who you want to select. You do gotta work out your own salvation at times, right? But this is Wisdom of Solomon 3:19. It says, "For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation." So if you want to be a part of this wickedness in this world, you want to be a part of Pride Month, hey, it's gonna be a horrible end, man. You're gonna get burnt up with that fire and brimstone.
Right.
You're gonna get killed with that modern day sword. You're gonna get starved out. You might get damn ravished by a so-called white man. You might get ravished by a damn Asian man.
Oh.
Just wicked, man. Right? Let's get this real quick in Zephaniah 3, right? Just some more exhortation for the brothers, and for the sisters, right? That's taking this truth serious and taking a spirit serious, unlike a lot of people, man. This is Zephaniah. We're gonna start at chapter 3. We're gonna start at verse 17. It says, "The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden." Right? So the Lord is going to gather all those that's been sorrowful in this world while doing his work and fulfilling his will. It's not going to be an easy road. It's going to be a bumpy road, man. If you try to make it easy, it's just going to get harder, man. Because the Lord got to try you. He got to prove you. He got to make sure that you tried in that fire and prove you in the furnace, like he said in Wisdom of Solomon. Like he said in Zechariah 13:8. Right? If you're not tried in that fire, you're never going to be perfect, man. If you're not catching hell, it's going to be tough for you to ever, be refined and, be made a true new man under Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, a man according to his liking. All right? It says, "Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame." Right? So you're not going to get all that praise and fame from your family, from your friends, from your woman. Right? It's only you, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Right? He's going to give you that praise and that fame in every land that you're getting put to shame. You get to put to shame every single day that you endure in this truth. But the day that you give up, the people going to laugh at you. The people going to mock you. People like, "Hey, man, I knew that was a phase, man. I'm happy you out of that phase. Let's go deal with these white women, though. At Club X25, whatever they call these clubs." Right? I just maybe, all right, yeah, that's the precept I wanted. All right, I got one more precept. All right, this is Luke chapter 14. That's how Jake is, man. He wants you to freak off with the so-called white woman. All right, he wants you to freak off with all these heathens, man. Right? I had a Jake at my job, right? We working, and he telling me about his orgy party, man. Talking about, "Yeah, man, I was downstairs and I seen these two white people freaking on each other. They like, 'You want to join?' He's like, 'No, I just came to watch y'all.' That's off.
That's off.
I'm not dealing with an orgy party, man. If I go to an orgy party, I hope the Most High kill me.
Right.
God forbid me or any of these brothers or anybody on this live is going to orgy parties. Trying to move in that damn Diddy spirit, man. Right? Right? But, it's just wicked, man. All right, you got to get right out here, man. You got to follow Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, or you going to be going to damn orgy parties freaking off with the so-called white man and a white woman at the same time.
Yeah. Right.
People understand that, though. People are not gonna understand the work that you're doing and the sacrifices you're making, but they gonna understand that orgy party. They gonna be enticed by the orgy party, man. They just wicked, man. They just being Romans and Greeks out here, just freaks, defiling themselves. Right? Just, man, right? Let's get this real quick. It's Luke 14 and verse number 28. Yeah. I'm gonna start at verse number 26, right? Because like we said, you know, it's just gonna be a great separation. People not gonna understand. Right? The real gonna get separated from the fake, man.
That's right.
Right? That's why when he was bringing out, you know, you gonna have you know, apostles, right? They ain't really got no light, right? I'm not gonna, you know, paraphrase it because I ain't got it off the top of my head, right? But they really apostles of Satan, man. Right? They not truly in this thing. They not truly doing this work. They ain't making the sacrifices. They not willing to be misunderstood. You're gonna be misunderstood, man, and you gotta be willing to accept. Once you accept that, this walk gonna be a lot easier. Once you understand that at times you're gonna be feeling alone, even when you got people around you, hey, it's true gonna be easier, man. Because you're gonna always know that you got your Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Right? But this is Luke 14 and verse 25. It says, and there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life, also he cannot be my disciple. Now the scripture isn't saying that you literally have to hate them and be like, Mom, get the hell out of my face before I kick you. That's not what it's talking about. You don't have to hate your family and damn be trying to beat down their heads, right? And damn spitting on them and just disrespecting them, right? You gotta kind of separate from them. That's all that's going into, right? You can't love them more than you love the Most High and His will. If you love your friends and your family more than Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey, you don't truly love Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's why he said you can't be his disciple. Because you're not going to be willing to make the sacrifices to separate from them when the time comes. Right? When you see a damn tensions rising because they see you rebuking them every time they damn keeping some wicked damn feast of this world, like damn Thanksgiving or birthday parties, and they eating all kinds of pork and shrimp and crab boils. Hey, it ain't no separation. Hey, the Lord ain't going to deal with you, man. You have to rebuke them. It should vex his spirit if you don't rebuke them. All right? It says, and whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Bearing your cross is denying yourself. Denying yourself from going back into this world and dealing with your old vomit and filth. All right? It says, for which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest happily, after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. And that's what people gonna do, man. If you stop building and putting in your brick, you know, to go and damn freak off at an orgy party and do whatever your ungodly lust is and your desire, smoking that damn weed, damn smoking them vape pens, damn breaking your Shabbat, working that damn 20-hour job for damn $50 an hour, right? If you ain't willing to, you know, keep building and reject that, hey, people gonna mock you, man. People gonna laugh at you, right? Because you stopped doing the work. People gonna make an example of you in the truth, right? They be like, look at this man. Hey, you hear it all the time when brothers teaching. Hey, I remember we had this one brother in the camp. He did this, man. Hey, let's just say he not in the truth no more. Right. You don't want to be like that. That should scare you, man. That's the Lord putting it in men's spirit to make you an example to not be like you. To not be a damn loser, man. If you on this live and you quit this truth to go back into the world and be a freak, you a loser. You're gonna be you're gonna be a two-time loser, man. Because you already losing in this life by being a so-called black man, by being a so-called Hispanic man, a Native American man. You're a loser in this society. You're already at the bottom. Now, why would you want to be at the bottom and damn lose your chances on the kingdom, man? Right? But with that, I yield.
Come on, give me some closing precepts.
Come on.
You got any closing words?
No, you got it.
Come on. All right, it's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse number 28. It says, for as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Alright, so the Most High, he commanded us to seek him 10 times more. And and every brother on his life and sister, including ourselves, the main goal is to seek the Most High 10 times more. For this is the same God that brought these plagues upon us. Our tribulation, famine, anguish, the curses. And this is the same God that's going to bring us joy and everlasting life again with our salvation. And you can only do that by what? Going 10 times harder than what you did yesterday. Alright, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 43, and verse number 30. It says, when you glorify Yahweh, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. Alright, and no man can never go far enough when it comes to serving the only true God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Malak Yahushua. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. Right, Brother Marquas.
Brother Kazawan.
Kwam Yashala. Shalom.
Oh.